Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was...
I would like to call to order the meeting of the Neenah Common Council for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019. Welcome everyone here. The first item of business tonight will be the roll call. Please sign in on the roll call machine and answer the clerk as your name is called, please.
Alderman Boyette.
Here.
Bates. Lang.
Here.
Lendrum.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
Spellman.
Here.
Steele.
Here.
Coons.
Here.
Stevens.
Here. There are eight members present. Alderman Bates has informed Alderman Stevenson and I is a little under the weather. She will not be with us tonight, so she's excused. The pledge tonight will be led by Pledge of Allegiance. Join us. It'll be led by Alderman Lang.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, to the republic, one nation, God, indivisible, liberty.
Hey, tonight we have a special presentation, a short presentation by our police chief, Chief Olson, who just returned recently from his FBI National Academy training out east, and he's just going to give us a little flavor for what he went through and some of the benefits in that to the city of Neenah, and tell us a little bit about it. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank the mayor because all out of state training has to be approved by the mayor, so thank you very much. And also, I'd like to thank Assistant Chief Sievert and Captain Bernice for, there's absolutely no problems while I was gone, and the mayor said I didn't even have to come back, so so I don't know what that meant, but and also before I start, I'd like to recognize Assistant Chief Sievert because after 21 years at the Neenah Police Department and 5 at Milwaukee PD, he's retiring next week, so he'll be missed. Be hard to replace. His memory is unbelievable, so we'll miss him a lot, and he'll be heading north to Canada. So somehow he passed his psychological to do that. I don't know how, but he'll be missed. So thank you to Chris for his long service at Neenah. So I was gone for 10 weeks at the FBI National Academy. I was in session 277. Some of this stuff is more for you guys to read later. I don't want to go through everything, but the National Academy has dedicated itself to improving the standard of law enforcement, and this is worldwide, not just the United States. And this training has been a benchmark for all professional law enforcement in continuing education. And again, this is worldwide. The history, it started in 1935 with a purpose to standardize and professionalize law enforcement, and it had 23 students. Today, it's usually about 250 students per class. It's by invite only, and then there's a nomination process and then a background process to get into the program. There's 13 million law enforcement officers in the world, and only 1,000 get to attend this training annually. And again, I was in session 277. The objectives, these are objectives. Well, I'll email this to you guys, and you guys can have this later. I don't need to go through all this tonight. So this is just to show you what I was doing. So these are pictures of our classroom. If you look at the picture on the right, his name is Paulu. He was from Poland, and he liked to talk. So when he's talked, he just stand up and faced all of us. So he was pretty cool. But it's kind of like a college atmosphere. There's 20 classes, and you choose the classes you want to take. And so my classes were seminar managing the law enforcement image, which was my favorite, fitness and law enforcement, which was fantastic, psychology of leadership, which was way better than I thought it was going to be. Constitutional law and policing was just as boring as it sounds, but really good. And forensic science for police administrators and managers, which was fantastic. The instructor, his name was Buddy, basically has been to every major crime scene in the world. So if you can think of it, he was there. And he just retired, and now he's an instructor. Absolutely fantastic. And contemporary issues in law enforcement. So those are the classes I took. It started at 7:30 in the morning. We get done at 4:30 at night. And then we go to the library and write our papers, because it was all master degree classes and a lot of papers and APA-style citations and stuff I forgot how to do. So our physical training was very unique. Our instructor, he was the fitness guru for the Baltimore Ravens. Great guy, learned a lot from him. Taught us on what to eat, what not to eat. A sample of what I would eat most every day is in the middle. Salmon, a little bit of salad, and protein drinks, which was really, really good. I'm trying to get my wife to cook me this. It's not working out too well. And we just learned how to work out the right way. We've been working out the wrong way for a long time. So we didn't just use weights. You can see in these pictures, we're pushing sleds and pulling things, and it was just really, really good. So life at the NA, my roommate, so you live in a dorm-style room, which I'll get into. My roommate, his name is Maksud. He's the General of Police in Karachi, Pakistan. And it's kind of funny because I was one of the smallest agencies, and he was the biggest. So his city was, well, that's actually wrong. It's 21 million people in his city with 140,000 police officers. And he has 53 people assigned to him just to get him to A to B every day. They do his laundry, his cooking, his cleaning, and security. And one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life, and I will definitely be going to Pakistan to see him. My wife met his family, and we all hit it off, and it was really great. So I had to teach him how to do laundry, which is pretty funny because he had never seen a washer and dryer, because that's what his 53 people do for him. So it was pretty funny. And the picture by the tree, that's before our yellow brick road run, which I'll get into also. So dorm-style rooms, 2 people per room and 4 people per bathroom. And we'd vacuum. That's a picture of us vacuuming our rooms because they didn't clean very well. The FBI Chow Hall, just like a college campus, a lot of food, way too much food, a lot of proteins, vegetables, fruits, and desserts. And the yellow brick road I like to talk about because it's one of the biggest traditions at the FBI Academy. If you go into any police department and somebody has a yellow brick on their desk, it means they've been through it. And it's just a tradition, a long-lasting tradition. It's a 6.1 mile or 3 mile run. And you can see it's not just a run. It's, roping down cliffs and everything, and everything's marked in yellow. That middle picture, it looks kind of flat, but that is straight up the hill. And it is a really good time for 6.3 miles. So once you get it, you get this yellow brick, and it's just a tradition. It's really cool. I had 33, there were 34 countries, but one is in the red is Europol. So he was from Europe. So we counted that as a 34th country. I categorize it alphabetically, so if they're your favorite country, if you want to know they were there, here they are. One of the coolest nights there, it was called International Night, and all the international students brought food from their countries. It was absolutely amazing. So the top right picture, I can't remember the name of this, but some of you may know it's an actual chicken and an egg. Like you eat it, you crunch the bones and stuff. And if you ate it, you got this coin. And the guy who brought them, he's like, "Isn't it delicious?" in his accent. And I'm like, "No, it's awful." And then a 1,000-year-old egg, completely black, worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. Another coin if you got to eat that. But the picture all the way in the bottom, that was my roommate. All his food from Pakistan. It was really, really, really good. And then coffee from Ecuador. So this is a few pictures from that night, with them in their uniforms and their food, and they were all very, very, very proud of their countries, and it was really cool to get to know them. So I was very thankful to be a roommate with an international student because I got to go all the international meetings. So I got to know all 33 people really well, got to go to different places with them, and the best part, and just fantastic. And then we graduate, so the FBI director, Ray, top right, gives us our diploma, and that's the brick, I put that in there that I'm holding, that's the brick you get for the Olympic Road, and then the diploma for graduating. And that's, I could have this for a really long time, but I want to make it short, and if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you very much, Chief. Anyone have any comments or questions? Jim?
Chief, how long was the academy itself?
10 weeks.
10 weeks, thanks.
So what's if you were to bring back, say we're going to bring back one thing, Chief, or what's the biggest thing that you're going to bring back to this department from your time there?
The biggest thing was how to talk to the media and how to do press releases and how our background should look and how we should answer questions. It's always been, and I've always been against the answer of no comment or it's an active investigation because it just makes us look like we're hiding things. And I hate that, and I want us to be able to say things. So we learned how to be able to say things that the attorneys aren't going to be upset with. Our civil attorney, we have to make sure our civil attorney isn't going to get upset, city attorney, state attorney, district attorney. So all the attorneys, right, Jim, we have to make sure we're not saying things for investigations, but we learned through our instructors who were really, really good on what we can say that's not going to get anyone in trouble and make us look like we're telling the truth. Well, we're telling the truth, but we're telling the public something that we can tell them, and how to do it. It was fantastic.
Great. Alderman Erickson and Alderman Steele.
How many people applied?
So I don't know how many apply. I mean, it's tens of thousands. It can take, one guy in our class applied 18 years ago. So it can take a really, really long time to get in. The average is, some never get in. Some is 3 years. It took me 3.5 years. It's not so much the person, it's the agency. So it's your background within the agency, how many people around your department have went, how many people in your department have went. If you have anyone in your department that's went, are they active? There's a lot of things that go into it. There's a person from Oshkosh going next class. So I know people they'll never get to go, and it's unfortunate.
And Alderman Steele. Alderman Lane?
Is there any kind of follow-up from it, or do you get any continuing
So we have
from
a
it or
Wisconsin
education from it?
Yes, we have a Wisconsin chapter, alumni chapter. So we meet twice a year, and then there's a chapter that's worldwide, and they meet in another country. This next year, it's in New Orleans, and then the year after that, I think it's in Canada. So everyone says you have to go to them because it's not just social; it's more training for several days, and they bring in the best trainers. They don't bring in just average trainers, so it's really, really good.
And Alderman Coons.
Well, first of all, I was expecting one-arm push-ups, but not going to get that. How do you take what you've learned and apply it to everyone else? Do they give you they teach you how to do that? So everyone else can benefit within the department from what you've picked up.
Well, it's the same as anything else. We learned a lot. A lot of things we're doing already. We are really ahead of the curve on some things, and then behind the curve on some technology things. But as far as implementing anything I learned, it's just like anything else. Is just pushing down the information and giving everyone the why and the how, and then obviously support from everyone here. But I can assure you, I've learned that we are doing a very, very good job at the Neenah Police Department, and everyone I talk to at the academy. One couple of things that we're doing in the department, everyone in the class is taking back to their agencies, and so even though we're small, we're doing really good things. And one of the guys I made friends with from LAPD, he's taking back things we're doing to his agency at LAPD. So it was a good feeling knowing that even though we're a small department, we're doing really good things. And also I'll add that the best thing about this whole class isn't even just what you learned, it's the contacts. Since I've been back, the amount of emails that I've received of, hey, we do this, what do you guys do? We had this happen, how have you guys resolved it? So now I have a network, literally 33 countries that I can reach out to, and somebody's had a problem that we're having, or a situation, and that's probably the best part about this whole thing. So, but I don't know if that answers it. We're doing the same thing, pushing down the information, top down. We're out there. So,
All right. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it, and we're proud of you. And you are how many Neenah officers have went through this?
I'm the second. Yes. Jeff Melchor went 6-7 years ago, and then he retired a year or two later.
So you're second. Well, we're proud of you, and I think it lends credence to the fact of the great job we're doing, and hopefully, we'll bring some ideas back, and that as you talk about, and good job.
Thank you.
I'm going to deviate just for a quick second, too, and just expound on what Chief Olson said, as long as Assistant Chief Sievert's here. I said some nice things the last time, and you weren't here, and I just want to reiterate, Chief, that we're going to miss you. Your outstanding dedication, your commitment to this community for over 21 years is appreciated, and I know you're going to enjoy retirement, but you've made a difference in a lot of people's lives. Chris was a PSLO at the school for many years, so many students were impacted by things that you've done over your career, and we appreciate everything you've done for this community. And I mean it when I said during the chief's absence, the two of you, both you and the captain, I don't think we skipped a beat, and ship ran pretty smooth. So good luck, best wishes. There will be a little open house for Chris Thursday, October 10th, for members of the council if you just want to stop by and say hello till he flees to the border of Canada and enjoys winter in Canada. I can't wait. So, yeah. Good, thank you. And we're going to miss you, and Godspeed, and good luck on everything. Okay. All right. Approval of item number 3. There are no mayor's appointments tonight. I do want to take one moment real quick here to I'm going to send something out in an email format. I think Alderman Lundrum had asked me. But I do want to, as long as take just 30 seconds here, I do have couple appointments on the Neenah Harbor Committee. I believe both those members are going to come back. There is an opening on the Committee on Aging. There is an appointment of on the Landmarks Commission, and a term on the Landmarks Commission. There's a Arts Council opening. There is a Board of Appeals opening. And there's an opening on the Loan Assistance Board. Those are some of the ones that I still have to fill. I'm having a little, tough time getting a hold of people, things like that. So if anyone knows someone, if anyone watching this and is interested, they can go on the website and go under the clerk's office, I believe, and there'll be a section that says appointments, and learn a little bit about what it would do and that, but it's not a big commitment. Most of these are maybe once a month at the most, but it does take volunteers, and we love to have private citizens partake in our system here and be part of these committees. So I'll send this list out so that it can help me. So approval of the council proceedings of September 18th, 2019 regular session. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Alderman Stevenson.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Erickson to approve the council proceedings of September 18, 2019. Is there any discussion, corrections, additions, or comments? Seeing none, unanimous consent to accept the minutes of that meeting? No objections? That's so ordered. Item number 6. There is no public hearing or reports pertaining to the public hearing. Item number 6 is the public forum. Public forum is an opportunity for anyone from the community, visitors, guests, to come before the council, speak on any topic that you'd like. We ask you to try to keep it under 5 minutes. Please state your name and your address, just so we have it for the record. Is there anyone here who would like to address the council on any topic? Come on up. Welcome. Scott.
I'm Scott Francis, and I have a property at 301 North Commercial Street, which is on the corner of Commercial and Forest. And I'm speaking to the council on behalf of trying to get some situation changed regarding parking. And back in August, I was out of town. I returned to town and saw that Forest Avenue had been restriped, and some turn lanes had been put in, some bicycle lanes, a couple of other things, and that caused the loss of about 3 parking spots on the south side of Forest, immediately adjacent to the building which is at 301 North Commercial, and about 6 or 7 parking spots across the street on Forest Avenue. Now, over the years, parking in that area has become very difficult. Before the dialysis center was built, there used to be a city parking lot that had about 40 parking stalls in it behind the old Doty building. When the dialysis center was put in, those parking stalls went away. When Commercial Street, when the state redid that road, that used to have parking on both sides, so there was about a dozen parking stalls on Commercial, that went away. When the county building immediately across the street on Forest was built, they had probably close to adequate parking, but over the years, the number of people working in the county building has probably doubled, if not more, as well as additional activity with clients that they have coming and going from that building. So that's put additional strain on parking in the area. There's a parking lot immediately behind the county building, which has, I believe, 16 or 18 stalls in it that's owned by the city. It used to be that those stalls were fairly readily available, but for the last number of years, those stalls have been continuously filled by workers from the county between the hours of 7 and approximately 5, just about every day. So when the 7 to 9 spots were eliminated on Forest, that was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back, making it very, very difficult. So what I'm asking the city to do, and I'm on the board meeting agenda, I believe, for the 8th. I've been talking with the Director of Public Works, Jerry Kaiser, for on and off over the past couple of months here. We've been looking at a number of different possible alternatives. Hopefully we can work some out. But what I would like to see is the restoration of those spots, basically the removal of the striping on Forest and the restoration of the parking spots, as well as some time limits on some of the city stalls behind the county building. Right now, the way it's striped, there's a right turn as you go from east to west on Forest onto Commercial, and there's a right turn lane. Well, on that corner, I used to have a wrought iron railing going up the stairs that go to the building. It's a historic building. And 3 wrought iron railings have been taken off over the last dozen years by trucks making right-hand turns on that corner. So I don't have a railing on there right now, but the way it's striped, that currently puts or suggests that trucks go even closer, which makes it even more problematic in terms of getting around that corner, or I believe more dangerous. In the conversations that I've had with the traffic director, he indicated to me that there wasn't any safety reason in terms of accidents or anything else for that area to be remarked. So what I'm asking for is for those lines to be removed, for the parking stalls to be put back in place, as well as time limits on a number of the stalls, at least a half dozen closest to Forest, immediately behind the county building.
Okay.
So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for appearing. Anyone else here who would like to address the council? during the public forum? Anyone else? All right, seeing no one else, I will close the public forum. Mayor, council, consideration of any public forum issues. Is there anyone who'd like to address anything? Barry, you mentioned going to be on the agenda?
That's right. It's set for the Public Services Committee next Tuesday. That's at 6:30, Scott.
Okay. All right. Scott has been talking to, I believe, an alderman or came in to see me and also Jerry, and I've had some conversations with James. I've also been monitoring that area every morning, and we do have, like Scott says, 16 stalls between that credit union and the county building that are our stalls. There is a dedicated street through there, Jerry, is that correct? Street or alley?
That's correct. Island Lane.
And those stalls are not signed at all, so I too would like to look at that because it'd be parking for the county building. So I think we need to talk about it and see what we can do to help get some. There is some dedicated spots. I don't want to get too far into this. In the where the old on the other side of your building, where the restaurant was, there are some dedicated public parking spots in the parking lot. Is that correct, James? Yeah. And then also in the dialysis center, there's also still some dedicated public spots, but they're not conducive. So we'll talk more about it in that committee meeting and flush this out, okay? Anyone else? Alderman Boyette?
Thank you. I, too, have been in touch with Mr. Francis, and I'm just curious, what committee did you say this was going to go to? Public Service and Safety or Public Works?
Public Services and Safety.
Great. Okay, thank you.
All right. So that will come up then. Seeing no one else, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Item number 8, the consent agenda. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Stevenson, seconded by Alderman Erickson. Any discussion? Ask unanimous consent to approve the consent agenda. Any objection? Seeing none, that's so ordered. Item number 9, reports of standing committees. The Public Services and Safety Committee meeting of September 24th, Vice Chairman Lang.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting from that meeting on September 24th. The minutes can be found on the city's website. Number 1, the committee recommends council approve the beverage operator license for Nicole E. Brisky with an expiration date of June 30th, 2020, and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the beverage operator license. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Seeing none, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
Item number 2, committee recommends council amend the 2019 budget by transferring $87,679.67 from the K-9 Trust Fund to the 2019 Capital Equipment Fund and approve the purchase in 2019 of a 2020 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicle, all-wheel drive 3.3 V6, and all necessary equipment at the cost of $66,069.67, and approve the purchase in 2020 of a police K-9 and associated training and equipment for a total cost of $21,610, and I would move.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Lang, seconded by Alderman Lendrum. Discussion, Alderman Boyette?
Thank you. I'm just curious why we're doing this so close to budget.
Have to have it, they've said in committee they have to have it done here to get,
But we haven't
is
even,
that correct?
because some of this is for 2020, and we're like stepping on next week or
So
the next couple
there's
of
a
weeks.
reason, so I'm going to
I'm
invite.
just curious.
I'm going to invite Chief or Assistant Chief up because he explained why
Okay, thank you.
the timing was such.
Our first K9 Cedric is retiring at the end of the year because of medical conditions. So at this point, we're in the process of replacing him. The kennel that will be used to select the dog that's going to be replacing him, we will not be able to obtain that dog until the beginning of next year and the training that goes with it. However, the vehicle that presently is being used, K9 Cedric is assigned to an investigator who works in a narcotics unit, who works in an unmarked vehicle. That vehicle will still be utilized with that narcotics unit. However, the new dog will be actually assigned to the patrol division. So we have to purchase the vehicle this year to make sure that we have the appropriate equipment and everything is installed prior to having the dog go for training and the trainer.
And these are trust fund dollars.
These are
too,
trust fund
not
dollars.
tax
That's
dollars,
correct.
so to speak.
These are all donated funds.
These are donated funds.
So this has nothing to do with our budget?
Has nothing to do with tax levy dollars being utilized to purchase it.
Okay.
It goes through the budget so that there's an accountability part of it,
Okay.
so that it's traceable funds.
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
All right. Alderman Coons.
Thank you, Mayor. I just had a couple just really clarifying questions. When I looked at the minutes, it looked like they were still trying to raise money. Is the $87,000 there, or?
The money is there for the dog and the vehicle at this point. However, as everybody sees in the news, that there are incidents where dogs end up getting injured or have to be retired prior to them reaching their maximum age. So we want to make sure that the funding is still there for if we have the unfortunate circumstance that we would have to replace one of our other dogs or that dog in the future.
It makes sense. And then it just, so I'm understanding this correctly. The way I see it is we're amending this year's budget, and we're going to spend the $66 whatever dollars now, and I assume the rest of them is going to be a carry forward, which we'll have to approve a carry forward then to purchase other things in 2020. It's not a 2020 budget, it's still a 2019 budget, just it can be a carry forward, and we're just trying to lay that out. Is that the right assumption?
Director Easker?
The answer is yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? We currently have 2 dogs. One's going to be retiring, and we're going to be replacing that dog that's going to be retiring. The city of Neenah still have 2 dogs at that point. Training. Okay. This is out of the K9 Trust Fund, and part of it, and then is this still is 2/3 vote? Does it change? So it does require a 2/3 vote of the Common Council for this to pass. Is there anyone else with any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
That concludes my report.
Thank you for that report. Item number 10. Plan Commission meeting was not held. The Board of Public Works meeting of September 24th, 2019. We will go to Vice Chairman Bates wasn't there. Alderman Spellman, you're still on the committee. Can you give that report tonight?
Sure. So the council action items, A, the board recommends council approve the final payment for contract 318, Nature Trail Subdivision Street Construction to MCC Inc., Appleton, in the amount of $25,770.66. And I so move.
There's a motion by Alderman Spellman. There's a second.
Second.
Second by Alderman Lendrum. Approve final payment for contract 318. This is the Nature Trail Subdivision Street Construction Project, amount of $25,770.66. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
Okay. And item B, the board recommends council award contract 7-19, Breezewood Lane and Harness Farm sanitary sewer construction to Dorner Inc. of Luxembourg for the low bid in the amount of $449,060, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Spellman,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Lindrum. Discussion on this item. At this time, I just want to add, this project here is kind of exciting because this is a long time in the making, and this is trying to help set up the city growth for the future, for the west potentially, and help the flow of sanitary sewer in that area. So, been a lot of hard work was put in by staff for a long time on this project. All the staff, from legal staff to Jerry and Chris and Mike. A lot of meetings were held on this. Finally got it done in conjunction with the town of Neenah, I believe. So we're excited about getting this done. Anyone else? All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Vote machine, please. That motion also passes 8-0. Thank you for your report. The Landmarks Commission, Alderman Lang, their report tonight?
Thank you, Mayor. There is no report, but I just did want to say that there was a great turnout for the powwow on September 21st and the Landmarks sponsored canoe rides that took place that day. So it really turned out well.
Item number D, the Sustainable Neenah Committee. Alderman Coons, anything?
I have no report this time.
The bid board, Alderperson Lang.
Thank you, Mayor. There is no report for the bid board meeting because I gave that at the last council meeting. The next bid meeting is on October 15th. But I would like to remind the council that tomorrow, October 3rd, is Neenah Rocks. Live music performances in many of the establishments that are in the bid. So be sure to check that out. It's sponsored by the Neenah Arts Council.
All right, thank you. And I don't know if I mentioned, but come spring, the downtown's going to have a different look. The bid is going to do hanging baskets. I said that last time, but it's going to be exciting. It's going to look very, very nice. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for your report. The Bergstrom Mahler Museum, Alderman Spellman, anything?
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to report at this time.
All right, thank you. There are no petitions. Any council directives? Any unfinished business anyone like to talk about? And under new business, any new business from anyone?
Mayor.
You have Director Hayes?
If I could indulge the council for just a quick minute. I wanted to update you on the results of our recent, where we are in our revaluation and our recent open book, and just give you some statistics from that 3-day event. Our office fielded over 450 calls. We handled 178 appointments in the office and conducted 20 field visits. Our website, in 3 days following, if you recall, there was an article in the Post-Crescent on the reval. Following those 3 days, we had over 1,500 visits to our website. Through the whole revaluation and open book process, we've had over 2,000 hits. 400 of those hits were on, an additional 400 hits were on our tax estimator, if you have seen that little thing. So overall, to date, things have gone very well. I think in spite of the concern and angst that we were going to be flooded with hundreds and hundreds of people, it did not materialize. We do have a board of review scheduled for October 23rd. Property owners have until Monday morning, the 21st, I believe, at 9 a.m. to schedule an appointment to appear before the board of review. So that's it. Thank you.
Clerk Sturm.
And as of today, we've given out 5 of the objection forms to people that called. No one has filed yet, so we really have no appointments right now for the board of review. We're hoping to possibly only do 1 day, hopefully.
Other announcements or comments? Just have a we are going to have an open session after this council meeting. And so we're going to discuss a couple of the issues. There's a lot of things on the plate. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to hear we're on the cusp of some good news stories coming out of the city of Neenah, so those will be forthcoming to you shortly. There's a lot of things that are coming together. I've been spending a lot of my time, along with Mike, on budget items and issues. And today we spent time with Menasha with regards to the fire department and things like that. So those are all going to be coming together pretty quick. I do want to take a moment here, as long as James is here, and not single out James, but thank James and Park and Rec, and that there was a slough cleanup a couple weeks ago. James took it upon himself to help clean up the slough in the Bridgewood area, and I went out and visited him in that, and had a nice little local neighborhood crowd that came out and helped. And Amcor spent last Saturday cleaning up the Arrowhead Park, and Jim and Mike Kading were at Turbine Dolly with some volunteers. So a lot of people taking great pride in our community and spending some time on a Saturday morning cleaning up. So thanks, James, for his spearheading that. So appreciate it. Alderman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to add to what Alderman Lang mentioned about Neenah Rocks. In addition to having several venues in the bid area, there are venues throughout the city. So last week, at the last council meeting, I passed out the information. I encourage everybody to visit several locations tomorrow night. I think we'll have a fun night of live entertainment, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And lastly, before we adjourn, just want to put a plug in. I've been trying to help the Neenah High School with their musical Susical. October 9th through the 13th is coming up. Neenah High School kids. The police department's been very helpful. Some promotional things in the fire department. Monday morning, you may see the mayor and the school superintendent changing the name of our community for a couple of days from Neenah to Whoville. May happen Monday morning. So we're having some fun and trying to help the kids out and get a lot of people out. So 9th through the 13th at Neenah High School. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, is there a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. We will be going into
Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin, Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.